Welcome back to Closing Time with Nick El-Tawil. I am still Nick El-Tawil, and I'm here with Sara Andrews today, Scottsdale resident. What's up, Sara? How are you?
Hello. Great to be here.
Sara, this is a real estate podcast, and you have been in home building, working with developers, not as a sales agent, but actually on the serious side of things since 2013. Is that right?
That's correct, in various different roles.
All right, so tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started working in home building at the back end of the process, helping support the sales team, the construction management, and also handing homeowners their keys. So fun process, got to be there at the end of it, and then I worked my way into purchasing and spreading bids, learning how to work with contractors and with all of our trades that build the houses, and then moved on to the land, starting in 2014, started working in land department, so mixture of acquisitions, entitlement, and managing the lot deliveries.
Okay, that's some very deep real estate talk. Basically, she did all the boring stuff that you guys don't see when people sell a brand new home to you. But 2013, that was when AZ was coming out of everything that was going on and from the 2008 crash. Like, it hadn't fully recovered, but it was definitely an up market pretty much the whole time you were doing it, right?
It was still down as far as recession terms go at that time. We were starting to come up. We didn't really pop off until after 2017, I would say, officially. So during that time, I was acquiring distressed lots mainly. And so those were all the finished lots around town. So you would have a subdivision with a couple houses built and then just empty lots without homes. And so
yeah, I remember a lot of that.
Yeah, a little deserted land. And so working for the builders, we would buy the lots and get them ready, and then we started building houses again. So it was kind of slow moving, but then after 2017, it just, things really picked up, and it's just been nonstop boom since then in Phoenix.
Because I grew up in AZ, and I was in high school when the 2008 thing happened, and I don't know if I would have got into real estate had I stayed in AZ, because it was so much of that. Like, you drive around, you just see, you know, half-finished buildings or half-finished developments, half-finished subdivisions, and there was just no money to finish it. And there was no return, so no one was going to put the money into it. And it was just, you know, my friends were renting, you know, 2-bedroom apartments in Scottsdale for like $500 a month, and like everything was dirt cheap. And my dumb ass thought, oh, I'm going to go to New York City. No, real estate wasn't even on my mind. I'm going to go to New York City. I'm going to do this music thing, see what I can do with that. But yeah, like, looking back in hindsight, totally wish I just stayed and just bought a bunch of properties, because and anyone who did that is just set for life.
Yeah, that's what I did. So I went under contract on my first short sale in 2010, finally closed in January 7th of 2011, so bought my first house, 2,200 square feet for only 90 grand. I mean, it was incredible. Interest rates then, I think, were around the 6s. But again, for that type of price, you can't beat it. And it was cheaper than renting. My mortgage was, I think, $638. And I was going to rent for $850. So it was a no-brainer. Just had to put money down. And yeah, and then kept buying real estate every few years after that.
Do you still have that house?
I did end up selling it in 2017.
Okay. Right when the market, you said it was going up.
Well.
She was like, okay, 2017 was the year. That's when I sold my first house.
And I sold it. So
where was it?
So that was in the West Valley, closer to the Cardinals football stadium.
Oh, that's where you're from, right?
Well, I lived in Peoria. This was a bit more west than where I grew up. And but I mean, it was a fantastic house. It was turnkey walk-in. And when I was searching for homes, all the short sales and foreclosures, most of them had a ton of remodel work to do. Holes punched in every wall and door, and I just didn't have the means to do a big remodel. And this one was where a family was giving it back to the bank, but they were still living in it, so they still were treating it well. And so I was able to acquire that property as my first starter. And then from then on, I bought several condos every few years.
So how many properties are you up to right now?
I'm on my 5th property. I've retained 3, and I've sold 2. So,
okay. Yeah. I mean, you bought them at the prices you bought them. You still got 3. Like, that's probably like covering at least a decent standard of living, right?
Well, so I bought a property in 2014. It was a condo in Old Town Scottsdale. So that was my second property. So that one
Was
again.
it Optima?
No, it was. It's off Indian School and kind of Hayden area. So great property. Again, that was $85,000 at that time. So another steal. Now it's worth about $285. So another steal. And then after that, I bought a house or a condo, 2018. That's when I first went into full gut and remodel. It was a 2-bedroom condo. I figured I already have a 1-bedroom, let's go for a 2. And gut remodel, ran into some issues with a bad contractor, unfortunately, and yeah, it wasn't great. Drawn out process, and I lived in the property while it was going through a full gut remodel. I fully gut the kitchen, raised the coffered ceilings, etc., brand new cabinets. Gutted each bathroom, so I was showering in a cold water shower for a while, mattress on the floor and drywall dust. And at that time, I had just started a brand new job, working for a new home builder. So
Fun!
I haven't made things easy on myself, but it was a fantastic purchase at the end of the day. And I sold that one right when the 2020 COVID crisis hit, when everything was shut down. I knew I had to get out of that just in case I was going to lose my job and not be able to afford my mortgage. So I had a realtor friend that was already knocking on my door and went ahead and let him take it off my hands. And then shortly after that, a few months later, market didn't slow down in Phoenix. The builders just kept selling, kept building. So then I bought an Optima in December of 2020. So still a great buy as of today's
fantastic
standards.
buy. Yeah. No one expected. I think, like in hindsight, it's very, I should have just bought everything in 2020. But I don't think people realize, like, everything shut down for a couple months. Like, there was nothing happening. And, it was extra pronounced for me being in New York at the time. We literally could not show homes for, I think, 5 months, where we weren't essential workers, so we weren't allowed to even see anybody in person. So, I mean, it was terrible out there, but I heard the same thing happen here, too. The market froze for a bit.
Only until the second week of May. So it was short-lived.
Very
it was
short-lived.
only 2.5 months that we were fully shut down, and we were classified as essential workers. So that was a positive thing about Arizona legislature, is we were able to get back on the ground. What we had to do is put PPE on every job site. And so home builders got to reopen as long as we were extremely cautious. You can only have so many workers in a house building at one time, and we got through it. So real estate agents got to be careful, wear their masks, and go back out there. So it was very short-lived, which is why Phoenix just boomed like crazy.
Well, also people want to get the hell away from all that shit. I remember 2022 when I'd already planned my, move from New York back to AZ. I was still wearing a mask on the subway. Everybody's wearing a mask. I couldn't go to the office without wearing a mask. Nobody's in the office because no one wants to go there. It'd be like 2 people in the office. I had my mask on. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Wow.
It was the worst year of my life.
So
glad I came back.
A longer period of time, too. I mean, I went back to the office in mid-May, and we just had to do every other office. So 50% of the people were allowed to go to work, as long as you weren't working at a direct cubicle or office next to someone else. And wear a mask, of course, but just had an every other day schedule. So. Yeah, so what was that like when you returned in 2022? I mean, the market here was booming. The builders were going crazy.
I officially came back in August, so the market was totally frozen.
Really?
Yeah, so
that's when the interest rate spiked to 7%.
Yeah,
and so we pulled back.
Yeah, rates tripled from, I think, April to August. And so I, came back and got my AZ license right as everything froze.
Okay.
Completely froze.
Bummer.
Yeah, in hindsight, I wish I just came back in 2020 and just started a new life all over again. But
crystal ball.
I was like, man, I'm not gonna let this beat me. I'm gonna push through it.
Yeah.
Fight. I'm gonna beat this.
Yeah.
It beat me. It beat me.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean that's a tough one to come back and then the market completely shift on you. So.
I mean, I did all right, but it was more about all my friends had left, the whole New York City just completely turned over. All the local businesses that you would walk down the street, I knew all of them. 2019, 2021, those were all gone. It was a whole new slate of businesses, whole new slate of people. All my friends had left. And so I was really just trying to tough it out just because, being in real estate, you can't really move that easily. So I really didn't want to give that up. But
Right.
it was like, it got to the point where it was just, this is miserable. I'm pushing through. I got no friends, no family out here. Like, I just got to go back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But what a story to tell, though. And you've gone through so much, and now we're in a totally different world in 2025. I mean, we're still having challenges. We're still at 7.5 interest rate.
5.75 today. They're actually the lowest they've been in a year.
There you go. So things will hopefully start kind of turning around. So where do you think we're at now as far as buyer's market, seller's market? Are we still in that midpoint, or are we...
It's technically
shifting?
a seller's market in almost all of the valley, but that's just because so many people took their homes off the market. It really is more of like a buyer's market, but the stats don't fully reflect that. So it's just tough. Like, I had someone come by for a third showing this week at one of my listings, and they didn't make an offer. They're not going to buy anything. They're just, people are very picky. They're very slow. It's very... I think I used this in the last podcast we just did, but people are kind of sheep. And no offense to anyone who's out there. But people see other people doing things, and then that motivates them to do things. So no one wants to be the first one to jump back in, right? And the people who do are always very handsomely rewarded. But we're still at that point where it's, it's not a flood yet.
Right.
And I think it will be sooner rather than later. But it's still like people are trickling back into the market.
Okay. So still kind of cautious, waiting for the whole herd to start moving into it.
Yes, but then once the herd starts moving, then it's over. Then there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Well,
then the opportunities are gone.
Interesting season that we are in. I've been waiting to buy again, and it's just...
Don't do it. Do it now.
Stumped.
Do it right now.
So.
Well, you might have a new job coming pretty soon, so...
Waiting a couple months.
You're waiting a couple months.
Maybe
okay.
2 months. Maybe 2 months, and then we'll see how it goes. But also, I mean, like you said, there's only so much on the market, and I think this next one I'm going to be a little bit more selective on. So my house took a lot out of me on that one, and it's leased out now with some tenants, but I think that one kind of was such a big project for such a long time that I think I've got to change my strategy, because the strategy is different than it was a few years ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just buy something and it rents for more than the mortgage anymore.
Right.
Like for 2009 to 2010, that was, or excuse me, 2009 to 2020, that was, even 2022, even early 2022, that was what you could do.
Yeah.
And it was just guaranteed, and that opportunity is totally gone. Might be gone forever.
Right.
I have a friend who's total nerd with this, and he actually, plotted everything out. 2009 to 2022 was the least expensive time to buy real estate ever in history. Like, if you're looking at mortgage rates versus rents.
Yeah.
And, from the rest of history, mortgage was always a lot more than rent. So, that opportunity is probably just gone forever.
Yeah, in
which is
Phoenix
unfortunate.
at least, because we've always been that market. And that's why I've always purchased, because every time I look to rent, it's always better to buy. And so it's been that's been the, basically the pitch that people have always sold on, is to buy instead of rent. And then also your rent's going to continue to go up, and you're freezing it in a less than value. Now, I think as long as, like, the new sales pitch we've been doing in home building is after about 5-year mark is when it finally switches, when rents have appreciated more than the mortgage. So now it's just time will tell if you can make it that way of paying a higher mortgage for 5 to 7 years, and then it flips, and then finally rents are more than whatever you froze your mortgage price at.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the story, and then you could still sell the dream of home ownership on that.
I think my parents bought their first house in Gilbert in 1989, and their mortgage was more than rent would have been, but they sold the house for a profit, and they used that to buy the next house, and they used that to buy the next house, and so you can build equity that way as long as it's an appreciating market, and I think it is.
Yeah, you just
I
have
think it
to
still will be.
take that first step into that snowball, and then you'll be able to keep snowballing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Well, we've talked a lot about real estate so far. Let's talk about you.
What would you like to know?
You play any sports in high school?
You know, I took dance. I did not play sports.
You were a dancer?
So, yes. Yep.
A
So
dancer.
we had a mix of jazz, modern, and ballet. So it was
Okay.
super fun. And we had culinary arts class at my school. And so I took that all 4 years. My last year I was a TA for it. And photography. Did that all 4 years as well. So it was more on the arts side that I focused. So.
Did you do any acting classes?
No, I always wanted to, though. That was like a childhood dream, and I kept finding places, but I think my parents just weren't sure. So, yeah, they never signed me up as much as I begged for it.
So those were always my favorite classes, like from junior high to early high school. And then I think in high school, people thought I was gay because I was kind of like really into it. And I was a little self-conscious, so I actually quit my acting classes and focused on sports because I didn't want people to think I was gay. Because, you know, in Basha High School in mid-2000s, if you didn't play football, you were gay, and I did not play football.
Oh.
So yeah.
Did you start playing football?
No.
Okay.
No, I thought about it. I'm actually glad I didn't. I don't have any broken bones or any injuries that are lingering.
No
so.
long-term injuries that can happen.
Yeah,
so.
no brain damage. Well, a little bit of brain damage. Not from being hit in the head, though.
So acting. So you stopped junior high?
No, early high school.
Early
I think it
high
was like
school.
freshman, sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you have the itch to go back into acting? And
I mean, all the content I do on social media, it's, you know, it's a talent that I
Essentially.
have, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I actually did take an acting class when I was in New York. I took it to get better at sales, and they like loved me there. They said, you keep coming back, and I just
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, I mean, now you have the characters of Scottsdale, so you could just take that and run with it.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're
that's
running with that.
awesome.
You want to do one?
Sure.
What do you want to
Yeah.
do? Give me an idea. Pitch me.
Gosh, we'll have to come up with a character, I guess.
Yeah, what's a Scottsdale character you want to roast?
Oh, I mean, you could definitely do a typical blonde Scottsdale character and just kind of, I mean, that was always a thing
The
about
Blondes of Scottsdale?
the blondes of
Jensen's
Scottsdale.
over there. His eyes just lit up. He's behind the
He's
camera, guys,
like,
but he's like, he's this.
I mean, there's always been like a little bit of a stigma, and I feel like it absolutely shifted over the last decade in Scottsdale as far as diversity and that stigma. But for people like us who are natives and grew up here,
Oh, it's still very much Scottsdale. Like, when Derek came to me with this Old Town Bro idea, I was like,
That's
this is what I remember growing up.
100%. The
Yeah.
$60,000 millionaires, and then the snobby salespeople at the mall where you walk into a store and you just get a dirty look like you don't belong there. I mean, it's always been the thing.
Blondes of Scottsdale, that's actually a hit.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Well,
that. I'm
let's
running
go
with
for
that.
it.
Yeah. Hell. Jensen's like, hell yeah, dude.
It's like, we're going for it.
Little short notice, but Thursday we're looking for a blonde for PV Elite.
Oh. Well, we'll talk about this after. Hold on. But
All right.
we yeah, noted. So, okay.
Projects.
So you were an artsy / cooking / dancer
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah, photography. I thought I was going to probably go the culinary or photography route. But when I was looking into those more, you have to work nights, holidays, weekends, and none of that appealed to me. I was, looking to eventually have a family, and all of those things would make that pretty hard. So for me, I worked for a bank for almost 5 years and did retail banking, made my way up to management, and then once I got into home building, I'm like, oh, it's a Monday to Friday job, so not bad. So I've just focused on that ever since.
Yeah, Jensen comes out with me. Well, not as much anymore now that we've kind of like booked off Tuesdays, but yeah, previously it was like Saturday, Sunday. We're going out all times of day, staying out till like 8 o'clock to get sunset shoots. So yeah, that's photography and videography.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. Or if you can maybe get enough gigs to block off your schedule, but I think it's definitely something that I wanted more flexibility on. And I love to travel, just international travel. And so for me, I need something more flexible. So.
My big reason for moving to New York was, well, I went to school out there, but I really was like making music. So I would make tracks,
Okay.
like beats.
More DJ style?
I actually never DJ'd live. I was like, I want to be Kanye West. I want to be the white Kanye.
Wait, do you have evidence of this? Can I see?
I deleted all my stuff from the internet. You won't find my SoundCloud. It's all gone.
Man.
It's gone forever. And I actually am kind of sad that I lost my external hard drive that had like thousands of songs on it. Yeah, I wish I kept that, but this was back before Dropbox and iCloud, so you had to like actually have an external
hard drive.
hard drive.
There's no like old like metadata in the internet of your MySpace, and it was like on your page with your top 5 people.
Oh no,
that we could find it.
I like actually scraped everything. When I got into real estate, I literally went through all of it and deleted every shred of evidence.
Man, I was hoping for like a Post Malone clip. Like that was epic. I'd love to
I mean,
see
you
that.
would have never like seen me because I didn't film myself, but
Okay.
like you would have heard my stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and I thought I had some bangers.
Okay.
But
I think Posty did too.
yeah, I had some bangers, but I remember I applied to like every single record label in New York, and no one hired me. And then I just met some people who were in real estate and I got into real estate. So that was that.
All right.
Yeah.
And then everything's history.
Yeah.
Yeah, but real estate's more flexible. You can work in different states. Like you can work in Arizona for a while. If you decide to move to Florida, you can go sell real estate.
No, once I came back to Arizona, I'm never.
You're never leaving.
Yeah, no. So
Home
all my
base.
family's here. So I got brother, sister, mom, dad, grandma, uncle, great uncle, another uncle, cousins, like 2 sets of cousins.
Oh.
And then I have a bunch of cousins in California, and they're all from here too. So they're like they'll probably come back. So like this
Lifer.
is yeah. Once I came back, I was like, okay, this is permanent
Okay.
when I come back.
Well, that's cool.
I think that's why it was so tough for me to leave in 2020 too. Like that's why I was like, no, I gotta stick through. So I come back to Arizona, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least you tried it.
Mm-hmm.
At least you lived in another state. You had that experience, and experienced COVID there, and now you're
So
back.
fun. So fun. Experiencing COVID.
But
great.
we all boomerang back to Phoenix. So
Yeah, no. It is something I took for granted growing up here. You just think it's sunny all the time everywhere and the weather doesn't change. No, that's very unique to, like Arizona, California. That's really it.
yeah,
Maybe Texas.
yeah, but the humidity there.
The humidity there is
I think we would
awful.
die compared to here.
Yeah, no. Texas, Florida are way worse than Arizona, California. Way
Yeah.
worse. So, yeah. I took it for granted, and now I appreciate it so much more.
Well, hey, I mean, that's what moving away is all about. And I recently came back from my journeys, and I think I'm going to be stuck here too. So
Where'd you go?
went to Utah and tried that out for a bit. Back in 2012, I also lived in Hawaii for a short stint of time. So had a couple different stints leaving, but yeah, I mean, it's hard when you have your core group of people here. It's just so different. I mean, I was coming back to visit definitely every month or every other weekend. And so it's just one of those things where it's better to live here and then visit other places.
Yeah. Jensen's from Hawaii.
Okay.
So. My sister, so when I was in New York, I had already had, successful career at this point, and my sister was getting her master's, and she went to Boston University, and I was stoked. I went up to Boston, I helped her get her apartment, and I thought she was going to stay there, and I'd go hang out with her in Boston.
Yeah.
She lasted 1 semester and dropped out and transferred to ASU. So
She's like, I'm done.
she's like, I'm not doing this. Get me back home.
Yeah, that's got to be a shift. And the culture shift, weather shift, that's a lot.
Yeah, and Boston's actually a college town if you really think about it. There's so many universities there, like Harvard, MIT, Boston University, and they're all right there. So you go around, it's like such a college experience, but I don't know. I don't think she liked being away from all her people.
Yeah.
And the weather.
And the weather, I mean, you can't beat it. Anytime I visited New York, for instance, it's always been in September. Every time it's always been. So I've always
best time to
visited
go.
the perfect
Yeah,
weather.
it's always the best time to go.
I've never gone in the winter. So I don't know if I could handle it. I definitely couldn't.
Visiting during Christmas in New York is actually awesome. You go, they have all the holiday decorations everywhere.
Okay.
It might snow a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
Living through that for 4 months every year is a little different than just visiting during it.
Yeah. I think I could do the week-long visit. That's it for me.
Yeah.
So, cool.
So what else you got? Anything you want to talk about? I've asked you so many questions. What would you like to share with the
On
world
the
today?
spot. I didn't think about coming up with questions for you.
No. I talk about myself. Don't worry about me. You guys know all about me now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything.
All right. Well, we can cut that last part out then. Sarah, you got anything else for us today?
No, thank you so much for having me, and it's been super fun. I appreciate it.
Sara Andrews, everybody. You will see her everywhere very soon. I'm Nick El-Tawil. Thanks for watching.